and spend more time with family and friends and be able to travel when I can. So that's kind of like the lifestyle that I want. So yeah, so I came across day trading a few years back, joined a few groups and inspired by, awesome mentors. I've learned a lot and still continue to learn up to this day. And I, kind of like hold my trading skills and refining my strategies. So I'm more focused on trading like options, then secondary would be like, stocks and cryptos. So those are my main go-to these days. So my goal is to actually help coach or mentor people. So to learn day and swing trading. So that's kind of like my forte about day and swing trading and, make money or earn extra income. So yeah, that's actually my goal. And right now I'm actually, for almost like 11 months, I started this Day Swing Trades group. It's a trading community on Facebook. And so far I have, I have a quite number of members who have been trading with me alongside and, and they can be both day or swing traders or investors. So yeah, so what else I can share? I think that's about it. And then, I'm open to any questions and just don't have anything to share right now, but I can send you the link afterwards about my trading community. It's based here in the US. So it's actually, I'm based here in Seattle, Washington. So, but, I have, my members are all around the US and some are actually from outside the US as well, especially those who are doing cryptos. I think that's about it.
Thank you, Jo. We just received a question asking, where did you learn option trading?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I have a couple mentors, based in the East Coast. So they're actually, they're not actually veteran traders, but they've learned also along the way. And I just find them to be like a good fit. So, basically, I started trial and error. And there are like tons of trading mentors or gurus out there. But then I found two that actually fit my strategy, my style. So yeah, and then from there on, I fell in love with options. So I know it's very risky compared to stocks. So I've been doing, just probably more like investing or trading stocks, like, a few years back too. But I learned that, I can leverage with options. So that's why I'm more focused with options now.
Great, it's very inspiring. I had a question about your strategy. Do you more like focus all your portfolio into options, or do you do? As I can see, your website has day trading and swing trading. It seems like you also do swing trading as well. So how your strategy usually works?
Yeah, and as I mentioned, I'm focused more with options. So we do day and swing. So right now, we're more like adapting to the current market condition because, as you can't predict the market, right? So we are really trying to kind of like just play with our trade with momentum, volume, hype. So those kind of things, those are the three kind of like indicators that we kind of like gauge, like, okay, this is where we place trades. And that's for day trading. Yeah, that's more like, we're looking actually basically for just, momentum, hype and volume. And if there's news, then that's great. For swing trading, we also have, I do have a list of kind of like, I'll do my own research and do the heavy lifting, especially I'm doing this for my members. So I do have a list, especially for large caps. So mostly like tech, healthcare and biotech, which kind of like, the ones that are most active these days. And also on EV, which is electric vehicles. So mostly like mid to large caps. So that's where we're focused on because they're more like the most active ones. And, they have solid fundamentals, growth, you name it. So yeah, that's where we gauge when we do our day or swing trading.
Yeah, great. Lately actually electrics, like EVs and, market have been really crazy lately, actually, especially today. It's like they're doing U-turn and then go back to red, you know what I mean? So how are you coping the markets lately? Are you doing any hedges lately? Or, what are you eyeing on for this, coming 2022 and this December?
Yeah, so yeah, we saw like this I think it started during the Thanksgiving week. That was last week. So we saw some kind of like rotation, all that. And we normally we noticed that every last quarter of the year, like normally like October, November, December. October is kind of like the hottest month for in trading. So I mean everything is like moving from small, mid to large caps. So recently, like yesterday, actually, because of the Omicron news, with the variant news, so that's where the market kind of like dropped. So the good thing about trading options is that you can trade with whether the market goes up or down. So when the market goes down, so that's where we play like we're buying puts, or you can short them, some stocks. So that's what we do actually. And for those who are actually holding, so they're totally fine because they're in for the long term. So it's just that they just gotta have a plan, and they just know how to manage their risk and their positions. So that's all I can always reiterate or remind my members about that. So yeah, I mean, looking for, with all the news and all that's going on, I mean, I think you just have to be prepared, and just go for like the solid fund. I mean, the solid large caps, because they're the ones, especially the tech, they're the ones who are most active, and they're kind of like the top, let's say the hedges, the institutions, and what most retail traders are looking into when, especially when there's like rotation in the market. So so just gotta be prepared. And market is always up and down. So we play or trade based once again with with momentum, our news, hype, and with volume. So yeah, and some days we don't trade, especially if the market is really low, or like yesterday we just kind of like being patient and wait for for some bounce action. So yeah, that's what we do. So it's not like like every day is a green day. No, it's not, unfortunately. So we wish it would be that way, but yeah. So so we just gotta play it, whatever is in front of us, and just gotta adapt to the current market condition.
Yeah, that's true. Every day is not a green day, and then you're not going to be green every single day. There will be red days, but seems like we're actually have to, cut the risks, especially as you said, some red days, like some uncertain days, we don't trade. That's okay, because we're just trying to not lose money. Getting money is actually important, but not losing your portfolio is also important, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I would agree. And, I think depends on, well, here's the thing that I kind of like learned at the same time, experience with my members, because especially most of them are newbies. So I kind of like really hold their hand and guide them, because, like losses are inevitable. So we sometimes we just gotta have cut. I mean, it's not sometimes, but especially if it's like you're on the losing side, so you just have to cut losses. And I mean, especially quickly, because like the market right now, there are many reversals happening. Like it could be like quick in and out, and or the market would just suddenly like drop and then bounce right back again. So yeah, it's crazy, but it is what it is. So and then it's just that cash is still like, if you have a cash position, that's totally fine. You can just like save that, let's say for maybe for next year, if you want to buy some dips, especially like yesterday there were it was really down, like it was like really bloodbath in the market. But this morning when we trade, so it was like there was some dip buying. So some investors or traders were actually were able to guess the bottom, and they were able to bought some dips. So it was like good entry for them. But so we're just observing the market, especially with we're heading towards the end of the year. And normally towards the end of the year, institutions are like, they're doing rebalancing, and they're kind of like locking in their gains, securing all their for their clients or investors. So and that's where we're doing the same too. So it's kind of like we're just go with the ride and see where this market is heading. But yeah, so far, I mean, despite of the news, the new variant news, I think the market is bullish, in my opinion. So, and with the Fed's early this week, the Fed Chair Powell, he also had his speech. So looks like There's he mentioned about tapering interest rates and all that. So it looks like market reaction or sentiment was they're kind of like bullish on that. So yeah, we'll see when when's the start of next year. So yep.
Yeah, great. Also, what are your thoughts about inflation coming in? I mean, I don't think we're going to see any difference in 2021, but we're also going through 2022. And what's your strategy going through 2022?
Yeah, so it looks like inflation is here. Unfortunately, we just have to deal with it. And he said, according to the government and even Fed Chair Powell said that inflation could be done like between the mid 2022. So we'll see about that. I mean, as always, we can't just predict what will happen the next 3 or 6 months. Our strategy is just we kind of like just be prepared and with still doing my research and providing what would be the the best trade ideas out there. Normally I'm looking for like A+ setups. So this includes like, this applies for both day and swing trading. So I normally give like a weekly watch list to my members based on the coming weeks, especially earnings and also like hype news and momentum plays. So that's where kind of like we're giving out to our members. So we provide those. And I think, it's not that like we don't have like, 10 or more trade ideas. I mean, we don't want to overwhelm our members with that. So we just give something like that's really, like, as I said, it's like 8+ setups that we think that we could actually move for the week. So, and also for swing trading, those that have potential upgrades. So I also have a list of like analyst upgrades, like say for stocks that could where institutions and hedges could actually they have their certain price target that for a certain stock, and that's where I kind of like more give out to my members, especially if they're more into swing trading. So yeah, I mean, it's we're really looking into either day or swing. So, but I see that most of my members are looking into the swing trading because they don't want the volatility or the risk of day trading much, but that's okay. So, and we have diverse members too. So I mean, it's up to them, and we're just here to help and guide and see where where we can help them and what would be most comfortable for them to to trade. So it could be day or swing trading, so it's up to them. So we're just here to help and guide them. So but our goal is to make money, and either for short term or long term, because now it's not like, even if you're holding for long term, but sometimes it could, percentage wise it could actually drop. But so most of our members are actually diversifying, so they have like they separate their short term and long term portfolios. So yeah.
Great. I also heard about you used to work in institutional before. How about your story that you used to work in institution? I mean, you were actually an insider. So can you talk about more to our audience?
Oh, well, I just used to work with E-Trade, one of the platforms out there. So well, it's not that like I wish I would had connection with Wall Street, right? So unfortunately I don't have that. But yeah, I used to work with E-Trade, so that's where I also learned like a little bit ins and outs, like how people like kind of like plan their portfolio, do the trading and stuff. So basically I just kind of find out, and also from my mentors as well, that you gotta think like well, it's not like just kind of like think like what they do like basically on a daily basis. So I would say that even institutions or hedges, they're actually locking in or securing their profits like every day. So that's what I always reiterate to my members, like you can never go broke locking in your gains or profits. So even if that's just like $50 or $100 if you have a small account. And my members vary from small to big accounts. So let's say they have like maybe 5 to 7 figures account sizes. So yeah, and we normally don't compare that because everyone is different. So yeah, we just have to trade like what institutions or hedges too. But yeah, locking in profits or gains is something that I always remind and reiterate to my members, because that's, you can never go broke with that. And, and just try not to give back your gains to the market, because especially right now with the current market conditions. So it's something that we just need to adapt, and, we just have to deal with it. But, other than that, I mean, we can still make money in the market regardless. So, it doesn't matter, especially with, in the crypto market, for example. So it's very, I mean, crypto doesn't sleep, so it's 24/7. And so some traders or members of mine too are also doing that on the side, aside from trading or stocks and options. So yeah, I mean, it's always that's what I've learned. I mean, always secure or lock in your profits, like just what the institutions or the hedge funds do. So it doesn't matter if you have a small or big account. I mean, it's just that we're here to make money, to have some income on the side. So it's something that, that's why we're here to trade or to invest, because we want to make money. So we just have to, secure our profits or gains when we see them or when we have them.
Yeah, I highly agree with your point. Locking in profit, you never go broke. That is true. And also our group has so many women's. It's actually founded by women, to women's, and most of us have a baby to support, I don't know, for my case, I take care of my baby while I'm trading. And we're actually really inspired by you, because you already made really huge group, and then also inspire so many women's, because seems like, especially in this industry, for my experience, I also used to work in institution too, and my experience, there's not much women actually trading or investing. And I just want to let you know, I'm actually really proud of you, doing very great for this industry.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. And I'm so glad to hear that. Like, at first, I was like, I'm not sure if your group is just women or maybe mix of men and women. So because I do both. So yeah, I mean, that's why I think, that I have a women empowerment group. So I have a blog, which is kind of like just started it on the side. And it turned out I have a few women in my women's group that I'm actually interested in investing or trading. So now they're also in my day swing trades group. So which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I mean, I totally get it. I mean, I do have members like, women who are like, if they're like single moms, or they're like supporting, just themselves or their kids. And some are actually trying to, even those who have actually full-time jobs, to say, I would be specific, like they're nurses. Most of them are nurses, and they thought that they could actually make more money in trading than their profession. So, which is, I see where they're coming from. And it was like, okay, so, and I see their genuine interest and, their hard work, and they want to learn, because they feel like, it's kind of like they're making more money out of, trading or investing than in their day jobs. So yeah, I mean, that's where I kind of like, I also gain inspiration with that, like from them, I mean, with their journey. And I just, share with them that, yeah, I can definitely help or guide them. So that's where I kind of like try to, really help out as much as I can. I mean, share what knowledge I have. And, I mean, the bottom line, once again, is like just to make money. So everyone, I just want to help when I can. So yeah, I mean, it's something that I really, kind of like, especially coming from, I mean, I've been networking and have a women's group on my own. So it's like, I feel, especially in investing or trading, which is a male dominated industry. So I feel like women are more like, they kind of like, yeah, maybe I would say, I'm not sure what the best good term to use, but I would say maybe they're kind of intimidated or overwhelmed with all this technical stuff about trading. But yeah, don't be, actually. I mean, I learned that, the hard way myself, but, but I see it like there's some really simple ways to, be in investing and trading. So, and as a matter of fact, I found this Facebook group of women investors and traders, which they're almost running to 30,000 members now, which is pretty cool. And most of them are newbies, but I can really see the interest of, that they want to do trading, and especially with crypto market that's been really hot these days. And you can actually invest just for like really minimum, like maybe $500 or less to start with. So that's where women are trying to, get into cryptos, more these days too. So yeah, I mean, as for my group, it's like we're more into diversification. So we want to spread out your portfolio, their stocks, options, and cryptos, because in that way, just in case, knock on wood, if the, say stock market crash, then you have cryptos, or if the crypto market crash, then you have the stocks. So so we just have to diversify, and, as the saying goes, that never put your eggs in one basket. So we need to apply that.
Great. That reminds me of one article that I read. It says, people don't want to go back to the work because of the crypto doing really great. And seems like so many people that are actually investing in crypto and they don't want to go back to work because they're actually making more than what they used to do. Like they used to work minimum wage, and then now they're like doing 6 figures. So it's that's how I lost. I mean, not a loss. That's how I actually quit my job too. Used to work institution, and seems like just trading is actually, you have just a couple hours. For my case, I usually do like the couple of hours, and then you're done for the day, and then take care of your family or have a vacation. So it's really great opportunity to be able to have it.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I mean, I love that. I love that you have that experience. And yeah, you're right. I mean, some actually investors or traders start trading, like if they're doing this every day, or if they're doing day trading itself. So they're normally done, like, normally the first 2 hours of market open, that's the most, volatile and where the most action is. So I would actually recommend that if especially for those who are working full-time, who are working full-time, or maybe have other, maybe they have business or they have family to attend to. So, the first 2 hours of market open, if they prefer day trading, that's the best time to get into, because that's, you could actually make money in, let's say, in minutes, or some in seconds, especially for those advanced traders. But yeah, you could actually be done in just minutes. And, that's, we have the term, we call it, we have scalp traders. Like I have a couple of that in my group, like they're really scalpers, we call them. So and I try to do that as well when I can. So but I'm multitasking, so yeah, it's okay. So I totally agree with just kind of like maximizing your time. Where to kind of like manage it. Let's say if you are if you have a full-time job, or if you're just a stay-at-home mom, and and you just want to make money on the side. So I think that trading is the way to go, and as long as you know what you're getting into, and and for me, once I have these members who are, especially women who are just new to the business, and they're like they just need a guide to help them. So that's where I help them out and see where and help them grow as well. So not just their portfolios, but help them grow and learn as well. So yeah, it's a good learning process. And I like that how more people are getting into the financial markets nowadays, and not just with stocks and options, but as I said, more than in crypto. So yeah, so it's all like just want to make money on the side. And for most of us, it's income. So that's it's something that I for me, especially having worked with corporate before, I never look back. So I told myself, just this will be my kind of like my full-time job for the long haul. So yeah.
Great. Some of us actually asked some question in the chat, and someone asked, can we try your group for a few days to see is it a really good fit for us or not? And do you have like a free trial?
Yeah, absolutely. I do have a free trial. Actually, it's not free. So to be honest, so I do have a 7-day access, which is, it's on my website. I can put that link on my website. So I do have a 7-day access, which is, I think it's like $55. And yeah, you can just test the waters. And I do have that now currently with when I open my Black Friday kind of like Cyber Monday deals. So yeah, I still have it. So yeah, they can definitely try that out. And and also I love to be connected with members, especially new ones. So I love to do, let's say, maybe, intro or discovery call via Messenger, because everyone's on Messenger right now. So just want to make it simpler for everyone. So yeah, absolutely. I do have, 7-day access to try our service out.
Great. She also asked, which company option have you tried recently? For example, today before the market close.
Oh, so someone asked us like what specific option trades or plays did I get into?
Yeah,
is that
especially for today?
Yeah, well, my best answer would be the S&P 500, the SPY, because that's where we gauge, like the movement of stocks, and it's been really, really volatile these days. So that's where you actually look into, especially if the market is really, kind of like really moving sideways in a range or up and down. So look into the S&P 500. So that's the SPY, which is, I think it falls below, I haven't checked like just an hour ago, but it's like around the 456, 458 range. So it's and then normally check before I go to bed, I check the futures if for the following day if they're in the green or in the red. So I normally posted that on our group chat as well. So we have a group chat also in Messenger, just because everyone is in Messenger and not everyone is tech savvy, so which I totally understand, and not me either. So I would normally post there for updates, market commentary, news, and everything, just to keep everyone, updated and abreast with, what's going on in the market. So yeah.
Great. Also, someone asked, how long does it take to become great, good trader, like you, experienced trader? And also, how much time do you usually spend for a day to trade?
Yeah, that's a good question. It takes time. So there's no overnight success, to be honest. And unfortunately, but it's as I say, life is a marathon, not a sprint. So for me, it takes it took me a year to really learn all this trial and error practice. If I even did paper trading just to, get a feel how the market is. So it takes some time, and and everyone is different because everyone has different learning capacity, and so some could actually learn it maybe in a month or two. So that depends if they're really super smart. So they can, and if they're really focused on that one. So it's very possible to learn in a short time frame. But but the market always teaches something. Every day, with everything that's going on, the market always teaches something. So it humbles you sometimes. So I would definitely be, really keen on still learning more. And and if you get to the point that you're already successful, so just kind of be at it. And if be thankful. That's kind of like your hard work that already pays off. So it's something that you'd be proud of yourself. So because the ones that I've seen, the successful ones, they started out really small. Like I started out, a small account as well. I actually blew up my first account, which it wasn't that bad. I started with 5,000, and and it's not okay, that was a learning experience. I thought that was just like a tuition fee. So but then I restart again, and and then found my niche, my strategy. Okay, now this is working. So and from then on, you learn from your mistakes, and as always, in general in life, right? So we all learn from our mistakes. So and then I started okay, so this is working now, and then I found a good mentors that I could work with, or that I follow with. So it's something that's also been helpful, on my trading journey. So it's up to the person. If they're willing to put in the hard work, it's not like you just gotta be fed with more information, but if you put in the hard work and start with even just maybe 2 hours at market open, that's where most the action is. So you can definitely learn a lot, and and you're on your way to towards becoming a successful investor trader.
Манай хин хоёр ч мөр амар яс үзтээ штэ нөгөө наагч төвшөөр.
Нараа mute хийгээрэй. Sorry, you can go ahead. Sorry.
No worries. I'm just I know it's I'm trying to really get a feel here. Okay, I know you guys have, your own language, but if anything, just translate whatever it is to English, if anything. But just feel free to ask questions.
Yeah, she wasn't muted, so I just told her to mute it.
No worries, that happens.
Yeah, great. Anybody want to ask any questions?
Yes, feel free to ask. I'm here. I'm all ears and be happy to help. And I could send the link to my site later if you want to try our service. I'd be happy to, Sorry, I didn't hear that. Was there someone asking a question?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard
anybody who wants to ask a question, just unmute yourself and then ask a question.
Hello, my question is besides the day trading, swing trading, the people who are starting to investment. So I just asking that, what's the risk tolerance and how can I figure out what is mine? The risk tolerance comes down to how much risk you are willing to able to take on, and usually that novice traders need to focus that one. So you can just recommend us which way we can figure out.
Yeah, I hear your question. So you were asking about our risk tolerance, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a good question actually. So yeah, I mean, you have to assess your risk. So I mean, in every investment or whatever you put into investing or trading, so never risk what you can't afford to lose. That's always the rule. Yeah, whatever amount you put in your in your trading account or in your investing account, put in something there that you can afford to lose. Just let's put it that way, because at least we kind of like gauge your expectation that if ever you lose your, I mean, you knock on wood, if ever you blow up your account, so it's not that much of a big deal if ever you lost that much, because let's say you're just learning and you're starting, because a lot of traders started out that way, that they actually blow up their account because while they were still learning and they were too aggressive with their approach. And I mean, but now everything has changed, the game has changed, so we do have a lot of mentors or traders out there who will help and guide you, and that's one myself. So to me, my approach is that I really help out members not to lose much money. I mean, losses are still there, but we kind of like have this goal to maximize our gains and outweigh our losses. So let's say at the end of the month or at the end of the year, we want to make sure that your gains outweigh your losses. So let's say if you have, for hypothetical, for example, just like you have a 5,000 in your account, and you made some gains this week, and the following week you made some losses, but then at the end of the month or the year maybe, so you're still in the green or you're still up, because when you calculate like your gains less than your losses, you're still making some money. Let's say out of your 5,000 you made let's say 3,000, and then you had some losses, let's say 2,000, so you still have 1,000 left, right? So that's still positive, and that's still gain or profit. So yeah, I mean, you just have to put something in your account that you can afford to lose. I mean, it's something that I always tell members that, because some are into gambling, like that gambling mentality, which I do not recommend, because that's where you kind of like lose a lot of money. And I know some people did that, especially those who have big accounts, because they're too comfortable like placing or executing trades that they don't know of. They're not doing their research, and they're just following and chasing like trades, and they just don't know how to especially they don't know how to sell or when to sell actually. So that's where the problem comes in. But yeah, I mean, in our group, I always check on them, like whether you like it or not, I have to check on your portfolio, or I have to see your gauge, because that's my job, to actually help you out, not to lose much money if ever. So yeah, I mean, risk tolerance is so important. So you have to assess if you're like if you're more like an aggressive investor trader, or a moderate, or conservative. So yeah, we can actually I mean, based on your risk tolerance, I can help you assess like which stocks to buy maybe, or buy and hold. So if you're really conservative, then we might just do swing trading or just buy and hold, and then to me, that's kind of like, it's not the safest, but at least it's a less risky way to get into, if that makes sense.
Yes, thank you so much. So detailed. So one more questions.
Yeah, go ahead. Feel free to ask more
Okay,
questions. I'd be happy to help.
What can I expect if I invest in the stock market? Maybe my portfolio's percentage, and what can I expect if I invest in the stock market?
Yeah, so if
What's
you're
the
doing
best way to invest in retail market, meaning?
Yeah. Okay. So you're asking like, like percentage wise. Okay. So I would really recommend to diversify. So let's say if you want, well, if you're just starting, if you just want to do stocks at the moment, that's totally perfect. We can start from there. I mean, we won't recommend you to get into options right away because options are more risky. So, but I know there are some people who wants to jump into options area because it's more lucrative and they get like more profit potential, but at the same time you could also easily lose money quickly if it's not done right. So timing is always timing is everything, and timing is like the key when it comes to executing trades. So yeah, if you just want to start with stocks, like just purely buy and hold, and that's kind of like less risky, and I would definitely recommend that one, especially if you're just starting out. So, and depends on your account size. So let's say I need to know, because I know all my members' account sizes. They range from 5 to 7 figures, and we don't compare because that's your account. I mean, all we want to do is like help you grow your account. So let's say if you have 5 figures, for instance, you have 10,000. So I know what stocks to buy and hold for you that would be like good for a swing or good for a few months to hold, and then you can sell at a profit or when it hits the highs. So pretty much that's how simple it is, how I help out my members, especially if they're starting out, especially with stocks. Yeah.
Somebody asked a question about trading psychology, and speaking of psychology, how do you manage your also psychology when you're investing?
Yeah, well, that's another good question. Thank you for asking it. It's trading or investing is more mental. So I mean, you gotta have a good, it's not like actually good, but at least like a positive mindset of things, it's to me personally, I kind of like, just prep myself to be in the game and know that, sometimes like I actually like, I'm too hard on myself, but now I discovered lately that I just need to be like chill and just, go with the flow. And so, to me, I would definitely have this positive mindset of just kind of like get into the game and just play or trade, based on what I see, and just not get involved my emotions to it. Because to be honest, like emotions are kind of like it's like an enemy. And when it comes to when it comes to trading, especially if you're like, you're all on this, all this hype and all this special momentum plays that are in and you're competing against other hundreds of traders out there. So it's just, you just gotta have a good positive mindset, and then just kind of like deal with your own account. I mean, don't mind others, because everyone is different. I mean, just kind of like grow and, be happy with what you can, make. I mean, let's say if even you just make like $50-100, that's totally fine, especially if you have small accounts. And that's way better than, losing, let's say $50 or $100, right? So anything is positive or in the green, just, be happy and content about that. And to us, in our group, we always have this thing like base hits, which means, small gains add up. So, slowly grow your account, small gains totally add up. So, every day, or maybe not every day, even like, maybe 3 times a week when you can, depends on your schedule. Just kind of like have that mindset that, okay, let's say I want to make 100 today, and maybe the next day another 100. So, and that's totally fine. And that's totally okay, because it's, those small gains add up like over time. And, the next thing you know it, let's say at the end of the year, so you're still positive, you're still, making money. So yeah, it's just kind of like be prepared, and, when to, and not every day you can trade, especially when the market is really choppy, or when it's down like yesterday, or when days that are really volatile, they're really, kind of like unprecedented like news. But yeah, I mean, I'm here like especially for my trading group. I mean, my approach is like just to really help and guide them, and not get into a lot of mistakes that most traders have experienced. So yeah, that's how I kind of like have that my mental state that okay, this is what I do, and this is what I also impart to my members. So yeah, hope I answered that question.
Yeah, I did actually. And also, well, it's actually my question. It's really hard to trade and not to gamble, because sometimes emotions usually take you. And well, my question was like, how do you manage it? Because do you take any notes? Because the lot of good investors, they usually take a note and know what they did, and then as you mentioned, they look at the portfolio, they're doing gaining more money than they're losing or things like that. And about that kind of strategy, how do you not go for gambling? Because it's really hard, especially when you're starting. People usually fall into gambling, even though they're trying to invest on, especially with the options, because it's really volatile. So
yeah, I totally get it. Yeah. So yeah, I would say I mean, gambling. Yeah, I know a lot of traders like kind of like love to gamble too. I mean, especially if they're chasing a certain trade or something. But yeah, I would recommend always have a plan. Let's say you kind of like have to stick to your plan, and especially if that plan is working. So have a plan beforehand before you execute or place a trade. And like even if you win or lose, I mean, that's your plan, because that's what I learned from one of my mentors too. Like even he's not like all the time he's really successful, he's a millionaire, but not all the time that he wins. So even the veteran ones, I would say they're not every day, they're not winners all the time, so they have losses as well. So, and we all do. So I would say always have a plan, and when in doubt, always ask questions, because there's no stupid or dumb questions when it comes to investing or trading. We're all here to learn, we're all in this together. So that's why I kind of like impart my members to always ask questions. I mean, regardless if that's just petty, but because you're here to learn. So, and especially trading involves money. So and we're here to grow our account, to learn. So yeah, always have a plan. And and if there's something that that you're confused with, or you're in doubt, so always ask questions. And in referring also to, let's say if there's something that especially with their emotions, well, I always say that okay, try to take out your emotions when it comes to trading, because that could be your enemy. So we try not to get emotions involved, and just probably move on, and maybe take a break or something, and maybe today it's not a good day for you to trade, especially if the market is really choppy. So but other than that, the rest of the days, totally fine. I would say the best, like October was the best month by far, and normally it is. So I know this every year, because that's where like kind of like the bullish start of the bullish market, and heading towards the end of the year. And so yep, so I hope I answered the question too.
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, that's true. It was crazy on October, but I don't know, for some reason December all of a sudden become reversed. I feel like it's just because of the COVID and Omicron, and also the Fed's going crazy. Somebody asked I don't know, somebody asked, are you a millionaire yet?
I wish, I have to be honest, I wish, but I'm not yet. But I do have millionaires already, like a couple of them in my group. So yeah, they're so inspiring. I actually I have to ask, like if I can, I think I did post a couple of their trading P&Ls, like profit and losses of their portfolio, actually, with their permission, of course. So yeah, I have a member who started, he's based locally here in Washington. So he started with me since early this year, like January to be exact, and he's on his way to become he's close to his 7-figure. So I'm happy about that. It's all his hard work. He's very diligent, and he's doing his research as well, and due diligence, so which I like about it, and which we all should do. So, and the other one is like she's a crypto millionaire. So she just got lucky to get into early coins and but now I mean, cryptos are also like a good avenue nowadays to get into some, quick profits and all this stuff. And also you can do it long term for sure, which is I would definitely recommend. But yeah, I mean, it's doable, it's workable. I mean, we could get there. I mean, we all do, right? I mean, we're all dreaming to become millionaires. So man, I do. Yeah, I mean, it's like freedom. That's kind of like financial freedom to most of us. And I always kind of like impart or kind of like an advocate for that, to financial freedom, especially if if you quit from your corporate jobs and now you're doing this full time like myself. So to me, I just found that it just comes down to one word, which is freedom, because we all want more freedom to do what we desire and live life on our own terms. So that's where I started with investing and trading. And I've seen like really successful traders out there. Like my mentors, for example, they're all millionaires and they're like younger than me, which I think like, what did I do in my 20s? Like these guys are already millionaires in their 20s. And like, I forgot like, what was I doing in my 20s again? So that kind of keeps me thinking, but it's never too late. I mean, we can definitely, make money in trading. And if you just have the proper, mindset, and if you put the work into it, hard work, at least, I mean, and do your own research or due diligence and ask questions. I mean, I don't think there's, there should be a way for you to be successful. So, just proper guidance and all that. So yeah, I mean, I hope we'll get there. I mean, I'm not too, I want everybody to get there. I want my members to, get there, even if I'm not a millionaire myself yet, but I'm proud to have members that are already there. So yeah, it's really possible.
True. Yeah. Hope you'll very soon become millionaire. Me too. I mean, I'm also, hoping for a million soon. And somebody asked one question as well. Do you use any trading journals, or do you write down all the trades you trade?
So I do that kind of like every week, since I send out a weekly watch list every Sunday night to my members. So I do have that as a guide. And also on our group chat through Messenger. So I kind of like screenshot sometimes just in case I forget. So I do that. I do have tons of screenshots on my phone already, just to make sure that if I can write them down, so I have them on my phone. So, and it's important to also journal, especially if you're just starting out, if you're learning, because that's the way you can gauge, okay, maybe this one is not working, or maybe this strategy is working for me. So you can gauge from there. And once again, everyone is different. So everyone has a niche or different strategy that would work for them. Like, I personally don't care how you make money. I mean, what your strategy is, as long as you're making money, that's all that matters. So to me, we're kind of like a non-judgmental group. We're just all here to learn, to make money. And so let's say one makes, I just made like $1,000 and the other one made 100. It's like, that's okay. That's still profit. That's still a gain. So, whatever strategy that works for you, go for it. I mean, and, you don't need to copy or follow other traders or mentors' strategy, because that might not work for you. So whatever works for you, go for it. I mean, we're all here for just like, looking for trade ideas and alerts, and which most members people would actually look for. So, and yeah, so I think it's important, still important to journal and to write down whatever, and, learn from all your mistakes, if ever. I mean, we all do. So, but it's important to journal your trades. So, yeah.
And what will your first advice to give somebody who's trying to trading full time?
Yeah, so if they decide to trade full time, so make sure that you probably have learned a bunch of I would say at least the basic, actually, and then you put your hard work and some like learnings into it, applied to it, like in your trading strategy itself. So yeah, I mean, it's actually like, to me, and I do have a few who are actually doing it full time now, but it depends on your strategy and in your niche. So let's say if you're more into stocks or options, it's fine. Or if you're more into cryptos, it's totally fine as well. So, but if you choose to like diversify, that's even better, because I believe, I always kind of like tell members that, multiple streams of income is totally worth it. I mean, it's something that I would actually, like I would get into it, like, and then you have like different, let's say if you make money on stocks, if you make money on cryptos, and maybe maybe some still have their full-time jobs or not, maybe they have their business. So that's great. I mean, it's it's something that we're aiming for, especially if you want to hit that 7-figure goal. So if you want to be a millionaire. So yeah, I mean, it's to become a full-time trader, you're just gonna never stop learning, always kind of like be humble. I mean, learn from others. And it's always like when you're there, I mean, you're just gotta follow your gut feel or your niche, like especially if you have a certain strategy that's already working for you. And if not yet, so we can actually guide you with that. So just kind of like ask questions and see where we can help you at. Maybe we could recommend something for you that that actually works on your behalf. So yeah, I mean, it's really doable to become a really full-time trader, as long as you put your heart and soul into it. I mean, and you have especially if you're doing this for income, like myself, because it's my kind of like my income and also my business at the same time. So yeah, I'm really focused on it, and kind of like more into diversification, like not just stocks but also options and cryptos in general. So yeah, it's just never stop learning, and just trust your gut feel on if you want to do this full time.
And also somebody asked a question about taxes, especially those are who's in states. What about the taxes on especially options or swing traders? I think it's usually around like 30-something%.
Yeah, so that depends. Like I know I get asked a lot about that, especially we're not sure like we're members which state they live at. So I would totally recommend to get or maybe talk to a tax accountant in your state, because that would be your they could actually help you out, or they're the best person to gauge work on how to deal with your taxes. But here's the thing, like if you are trading, let's say if you are using your IRA account, so if you have say IRA or just Roth IRA, and then if you're using that to trade, that's totally fine, and you don't get taxed until because that's your retirement account, right? If you don't if you just leave it there and you don't take out if you don't withdraw or liquidate your profits or or your gains, so that's totally fine. And you can also talk to your tax accountant about that. But that's all I know, like if you just use your IRA account to trade or to invest, and leave it there maybe for over a year or so, that's totally fine. I don't think you get taxed too much about on that. But if you're doing short term, like in my case, for example, I do have like short term capital gains every year. Like for the past 2-3 years, of course I have to pay taxes because that's part of my business and my trading. So normally like your brokerage or your they will actually send you a consolidated statements, let's say for the year. So normally they would send that to you before February, before the tax filing season. And it's up to you to file that or enter that in your, let's say, on your tax. Let's say, I know people mostly use like TurboTax online, but some also use some tax accountants. So that depends, but I would say maybe talk to your tax accountant if you have one, or if not, if you have if you have short-term capital gains, I would definitely report that, kind of more of a reporting. Let's say if you can just enter that in a database, and if you have TurboTax, for example, which most people are doing, and it's just a form of reporting actually, and it will probably auto-generate whatever you need to pay for taxes. So as long as we're living here in the United States, I mean, we got to give back to Uncle Sam. So unfortunately, but yeah, I mean, and I'm talking about in all financial markets, stocks, options, and cryptos, because cryptos nowadays, I think they're, the government is trying to regulate them. So you just gotta be, prepared to kind of report them as well or file them. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Crypto is actually giving us a little bit of opportunity for 2021 because we're not going to pay any taxes for gains. I guess we're going to start paying it in 2022. And somebody asked one more question. Do you do any earning lotos, like the earnings? And do you have any recommendation during earnings season?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so we do, especially I posted like every day, every weekend on my Days and Trades group page that there's earnings coming up for the week. So the way we play or trade earnings, we do it like probably a week or two prior, because that's where it gets more volatile and more like where you can make more money out of it. But don't trade or kind of like play within the earnings day itself. So you might just have to wait until they release their earnings report. And yeah, that's how we do it. I mean, I always have that watch list too for the earnings, but like this week I would say there were 2 or 3, despite of this week's volatility. I mean, it's I think there were 2 or 3 that included in my watch list that I have earnings this week. So I would say in particular, that's like there's Salesforce, Snowflakes, and there's like one tech companies like OKTA, and also like so we don't normally trade them on the earnings day itself, but prior to that, let's say a week or 2 prior, that's where you kind of like trade them, especially if there's momentum, because I noticed that that's more where most traders or investors are kind of like getting more hype with it, and especially before the earnings. And after the earnings, if they have positive earnings report, then that's great. Some would actually, trade it. They call it their lot to play, especially if they're trading options. They do the weekly option thing, like, it will expire, let's say on the weekend or on a Friday. But yeah, it's something that kind of like I would say advanced traders would do. So I wouldn't recommend it for like, especially for the newbies. But yeah, it's also a good avenue. But I mean, trading earnings, I would say just kind of like, before that, maybe a week or 2, that's the best way to trade. And also maybe after the earnings day itself. So that's where you can gauge where to, execute trades. So yeah, that's what I noticed. I mean, it's something that I kind of like, especially with earnings, like it was with large caps, for example, with tech, let's say I know this earnings season is coming to an end for this quarter, and January is up next. So there will be more, hype again or momentum coming for following, this coming new year. So yeah, it's a good time to kind of like, maybe if you prefer swing trading, then you can, buy at the dips and maybe, wait until it has its momentum. It will rip and run, sometime in the month of January before their actual earnings date.
Great. Somebody also asked a question about what do you think about delisting Chinese companies? Is it possible?
Yeah, I actually alerted that today to my group page, because I saw that on Twitter, and it was like, it is possible, but we'll kind of like play it by year. Once it may take time, so it's not, especially for Chinese stocks like Alibaba, Neo, and all this, like, this used to be like large caps. So yeah, you just gotta be like, right now, I know I did some shorting or puts with I have an overnight or swing puts or shorting with Alibaba because of the hype and the news. But we'll see. Normally the listing will take time, so it would be, we'll see by next year though. So right now, I mean, it's just not time to get into buying. I mean, I wouldn't recommend to buy into those, especially if if they're just rumors, but now it's already in the news. But yeah, it's something that you might want to avoid for the time being, if you want to, if you feel like buying. It's like, oh, because it's so cheap right now. Like I could buy Alibaba for like $120. I mean, compared before, you could, it's like 300 or 400 the most. I mean, but no, I don't think, I don't want you guys to like catch a falling knife. Like say, you thought that it was already the dip, but then it becomes deeper and deeper. It's like, okay, it's still like, it's still not the bottom yet. So, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, it's something that I would be, I would stay away for the time being, especially if you're not day trading it for like, or maybe just shorting or, buying puts on it. So, yeah, it would be, I would stick to the ones that really have solid fundamentals, maybe the ones that are not on the delisting page. So we'll just probably stick to the ones that have, solid growth and fundamentals. And in that way, we know that, okay, we can sleep well at night and, thinking that, okay, our swing trades or, our buy and hold positions are, are okay to hold. So, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I'm kind of holding it back with the Alibaba. I thought it's going to go up, but it has not. And it might go for delisting, which is crazy. I mean, I wouldn't expect it. And also somebody asked a question about, do you invest in crypto? I think you mentioned you do sometimes. And if so, what kind of what coins are you holding right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I love cryptos, actually. I mean, it's because cryptos never sleep. And sometimes, I sacrifice them, so especially if they're like rippers and runners. But yeah, I mean, it's a good avenue. Like right now, I think I found a strategy to just kind of like buy and hold for the long term. And if you prefer to day trade it, or there's also an avenue for that. So I know some trader friends of mine are doing that. So yeah, I would go, my top holdings right now would be the metaverse coins. So they're kind of like they're trending, and they've been they're the most active, like in the crypto market and the crypto space these days. So yeah, I mean the metaverse coins. So it's I think if you're on my group page, I think I posted that one, but also in my I normally give the full detail. I mean, not the full detail, but my kind of like my crypto top coins or holdings, to my members and my premium membership. So I provide that, not just to be fair for those who are, who are in my premium membership. So yeah, I do have holdings which they're mostly the metaverse coins. Yep.
Great. Anybody want to ask more questions? Oh, here it comes. How to join your group and how does it work? I think that's a website group, and then people sign up for it, or how does it usually work?
Yeah, basically it's just simple. I mean, I'll just send you the link and to my website, and there's a sign up page there to subscribe. So you can pick either there's a monthly and there's a yearly discounted rate, and there's the 7-day trial. So there's 3 choices for you to get into. But if you want to just start it out, so you want to try the 7-day trial, so that would last for 7 days, so just a week. And from there, then you can just decide if you want to do the monthly or the yearly. So basically our yearly rate is discounted. So I have most members since since early this year, they have for the yearly rate, because they could save, like right now I have a promo which is like you can save like $400 for the yearly subscription. So yeah, and then if anything, I mean, once you join, I can add you to the trading group page for you to kind of like browse, some posts there and comments from other members. And, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm always here 24/7. So, I mean, I'm always like up to what my members are doing. So just, kind of like have that commitment to, to my members. So yeah, I'd be happy to help whatever questions they may have.
How much is this monthly fee? And if we pay like a yearly, and how much would it be?
Yeah, so I have to be honest that my pricing is not cheap, because I'm more into, because I added some kind of like more features and more like a personal touch to it, so to speak. So unlike other traders, or I mean mentors, I mean they just kind of like open it to the public and just like I mean without really getting into like helping. That's why I noticed that some newbies started out, they lost a lot of money because they're just following trades or alerts from their mentors who are actually more advanced, and and they couldn't keep up, especially if they're doing the day trading itself. So yeah, so my monthly is actually $350 per month, and the annual or the yearly is $3,800. So the inclusions for that, I would run down the inclusions real quick. It's we have the weekly watch list that will be sent via email. So that's sent out every Sunday night. And then also we have the day and swing trade ideas. This is for short and long-term time frames. So that's very flexible. It's up to you if you want to do day or swing trading. And then I have the analyst ratings or upgrades. So this is the one that's good for stocks and options swing trades. So I do have a list of what stocks to, where most institutions and hedge funds are, they have a certain price target for a certain stock. So I provide what stocks are those. And also intraday, which means day trading, real-time alerts, including scalp trades. So scalping, which means those are quick in and out. Those are what, traders or the advanced ones are doing. Like they're just done. Let's say they're just done for first 2 hours at a market open. So those, we call them also scalp traders. And also, so we do cryptocurrency trade alerts and signals. So that includes cryptos as well, because we love cryptos. And of course, access to our private group chat and messenger, and one-on-one coaching to keep track of your investing or trading portfolio. So I want to make sure that your account is growing. I would kind of hold your hand and see where you at, because I know not a lot of mentors will do that because they're too busy, or they're just, doing this on their own, and just kind of pro courses or programs out there that, would take much of your time, energy, and money. So I don't do that. So I want to get into action, just, help you learn the ins and outs, the less risky and the easy way. So yeah, and also market news, keep you updated with market news, updates, and charts. And a bonus will be giving away exclusive, exclusive giveaways and referral incentives. So we love referrals. I mean, I do have, a bunch of referrals from my existing members, which I love. So it does help. And especially if you go to my website, we have testimonials too of other members, their existing members. So yeah, I mean, that's about it. So it's $350 per month and $3,800 per year. And it's $55 for 7-day access.
Great. Yeah, I mean, it's totally worth it if you can make, I mean, at least, I think, especially, if you are, what I'm trying to say is that it's actually, I feel like it's actually really worth it, because you're gonna do the one-on-one with that person. So yeah, that's totally gonna worth the money if anybody who wants to join it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love to do one-on-one. I mean, I've been doing this. I think that's what's working for me and for my members or clients. And I feel like I love the personal touch of it, because I know it's your money, right? I mean, everyone has different account sizes. It's your money. I know it's a hard-earned money. It's not just you're picking up from trees or wherever. So, and our goal is to help you really, goal is to make money and help grow your account, at the end of the year, something that you could be, let's say if you want to buy a house or go for, a vacation or whatever. I mean, it's something that, it's like an extra income, or, for you and for your family. So that's something that I really value. So that's why I kind of have that personal touch, okay, I'm going to do this one-on-one coaching, because I know not a lot of mentors are doing this, not even my personal mentors, they're not doing that because they have a large community already. So, which I totally understand. So that's why, and they're more advanced. So, but now, I mean, I'm more into especially helping the newbies out, and those intermediate, and those even the experienced ones, especially if they thought that, oh, I thought I was doing right, but I didn't know that. So that's where I get into and help them out as well.
Great. Somebody also asked a question about what's your favorite stock, and then favorite stock to invest in for a long time.
Oh, wow. I love that question. Yeah, I would go for the large caps. So I would say my biggest moneymaker would be Tesla. So yeah, Tesla has been my moneymaker for 3 years now. I wish I held ever since, but I didn't know at the time that it would be this, but yeah, I mean, I have no regrets. I mean, Tesla is my moneymaker, and even up to this day. And and the large caps, actually, especially because they're the most active, and they're I'm into those stocks that have solid fundamentals. It's been proven for years, even Amazon, but Amazon is more really expensive nowadays. So I go for Tesla, and there are a few others that say also in the healthcare biotech, but biotech nowadays is more a little, if you say it, I mean, it's more, but yeah, I would say the tech stocks Tesla, and I think I have a couple others. I think it's Nvidia. Nvidia's been doing really well so far after the split. So yeah, Yeah, Nvidia is one too, but I would say my number one is Tesla. So I always love to, I always love to trade that one. I mean, whether the stock goes up or down. So, but it looks like it's still bullish.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
that's
so
true. That's a moneymaker.
It is. That's kind of like my biggest money maker for like years. So, but yeah, I mean, everyone is different. So let's say, I mean, once again, that kind of like I could play that multiple times in a day with my account size, and I do options with that. And, I've made some money of that. I also lost some money of it, but overall, I mean, I think Tesla, especially if it's bullish, and I see that, where I'm looking at the charts, I mean, it's just like, I mean, there are still tons of probably, institutions or whales or even retail traders out there pushing the stock to the, to the heights. And especially like institutions have a price target with this one, like, 1,200 to 1,400. So, it's still bullish. So it's just a matter of, if Elon tweets something positive about it, because everyone's following Elon's tweets. So it's like, it's crazy. But, if he tweets something positive about it, then we're good.
Great. I mean, that's true. Lately, Tesla is being crazy, and as you said, metaverse, I think that's gonna boom really soon. If it's not secret, what's like average yearly return especially on your group?
Yeah, so I would say I think I posted that a couple of times. So when I was promoting or marketing my what do you call it? That was the Black Friday deal, but my holiday deal. So yeah, I mean, combined, well, in our group, like, we don't, I mean, it's not that I do, I mean, I have a number of then I don't have like hundreds of members actually. I wish I had, but I mean, I'm more like of the quality, because since I do one-on-one coaching, I want to make sure that everyone is making money and learning. So yeah, I mean, average, I would say, like this last week alone, or this past couple weeks, we have like 20 to 30. So I would say maybe conservatively, I would say 10 to 20K. Yeah. So it's not that, well, I'm not sure, maybe for others, that's great. I mean, for some, it's like, it's not that much. It's like, but yeah, but we have a small group. So, because we're more into quality, and, we know that these members are really into, and this is what's working for them as well. So yeah, it's not bad actually. I mean, this last week we have 20K, considering it was a Thanksgiving weekend, I mean, holiday weekend, and this week as well. So, and some of them are, I would say, are holding, they're doing the swing trading. So that, which means they're buying, and they probably bought like, a couple months ago, maybe. And now when their positions hit the high, so that's when the time they sell. So, yeah, I mean, we're kind of like average on that. So conservatively, I would say, 10K, total. So yeah. And that's kind of like weekly. So, if you multiply that to in a month, so that's a pretty good, size. If you have a big account, that's awesome. I mean, you could actually make like, maybe 30 to 50 in a month. That would be, that's really great.
Great. Seems like our time is getting close to an end, and thank you for actually, giving us time to talk about your experience and give us so many advices. And thank you so much for that. And do you want to end this conversation with some advice?
Yeah. Well, thank you for, this opportunity. I'm having I'm having fun, a great time to share my trading journey. So yeah, I would say that the only reason that people will spend money in investing or trading and other financial matters, is, for me, let's say, to help, it's for me to help them fix their problem, right? Let's say their money problem. And so I would really encourage them to, invest or trade, and, and ask them what would be their goal is, what would be their financial goal, because I'm here to like help out people, if they're interested to trade stocks, options, and cryptos. So yeah, I mean, I would encourage everyone to really get into it, especially if they're, if they want to get into some, have some side hustles or extra income on the side. So I would, I mean, it's something that I could really recommend, and yeah. So if anything, just, feel free to ask questions. I'm here to help, and, and I could, send you guys my link to my page, and, if you're interested, then yeah, let me know.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you as well. Appreciate it. And I hope everyone gets some inspiration or motivation in learning. So, if I haven't tackled any other, questions or maybe other topics or, stuff, so let me know. I'd be happy to, get it out for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And you have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys as well. Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.